Now we're ready to start assembling our album. I've got everything inked and organized in my envelope, so I'm ready with those. I also have a couple pieces that, I don't know, I couldn't figure out where those go, but maybe as we're going along in the album, we'll find them. And then also there was something that needed to be scored, and I think there's two things that need to be scored that will go along with, we'll do together since I didn't do it in the original instructions, and some holes that need to be punched, but all in all, it went pretty easy, fairly well. Now, I never like doing the front cover first. I always like to do the inside of the book, so I'm going to take page 8. I'm going to set it aside, and we are going to start with our inside cover. So I'm going to grab the book out, and we're going to go and do this cover and this, and don't be afraid to, like, you know, give it a little bend so that it lays a little flatter. You know, they're packaged and it's pretty tight. So envelope 1 I'm going to set aside, and I'm going to get the pieces out that I need to do this cover here, and I think at the same time we'll get the pieces out that we need to do the back cover. So with this book, we're going to lay all the paper on first, and then we're going to go back and we're going to do the other, or the embellishments and stuff, just like I always do with the albums. So that's pretty much it that we have to do with this one. They did have these notched, and I chose not to do that, but I do want this one to be slightly shorter. I'm going to do a lot of like overlapping and make it look a little bit different than the original album. So I'm going to cut this to 5 inches. Now, you do you, and I'm going to do me. So if you want to follow the Simple Stories instructions exactly, you go right ahead. But I have a plan, and I know what I want it to look like when it's finished. So that there, and then I'm going to do a little overlapping just like this. So I cut that stripe paper 5 inches. And we're going to get out our adhesive. This isn't going to be one that's really, you know, touched a lot, but when you're doing the adhesive, really make sure you're getting along the edges like that, really close. If you don't have an adhesive where you can do that, you should upgrade to this pink dot adhesive. And the Tombow blue adhesive that is elastic, that is not something that you want to use. It's just not strong enough for what we're doing, and it won't hold up as well. So we're just going to overlap it a little bit, and the little tag that says the ABCs, I love you, that's super cute. I'm just going to give it a little bit of space here and put that on also. And don't be afraid to use the adhesive, because this is a book that's interactive. It's going to be handled. It doesn't really have page protectors. So you want to do your due diligence and really glue it down well. All right, so I'm going to skip and get the back page now, just because, you know, it's the last one of my envelopes, and then I can set this whole little book aside and fill it up as I go. So the back page just has the same 2 pieces, and what it's meant to do is kind of line up. So I'm going to cut this 5 inches. I'm going to ink that edge that I cut, and then adhere them in the book so that they kind of run across. So what happens is, as you're flipping the pages from side to side, you're still going to see these pieces, and it looks like it's one strip running through. So I'm going to try to make sure I'm kind of lined up really good with that. There we go. That looks good. I should get out one of my blue things for gluing on, because I'm getting it all over my table. Didn't do that. And same thing, I'm trying to line it up just the same. And there we go. Press that all down. And then this we can open up. So as we are making the pages, I just like to throw them in there. Even though we're going to do the embellishments and we're going to do the ink, it just keeps it organized for me. So I'm going to set that above me. And the first page of the album that we're gonna do has these pieces here. And we need our chipboard. The chipboard sometimes comes a little lumpy. Again, it's in an album, but I just kind of form it so that it lays a little bit flatter. You can't tell when it's in the, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, gee whiz, bumping the camera. So we're gonna put our bunny and lion and bear paper on centered. You know, don't cover up the holes. Make sure you got like 1/8 of an inch edge. Make sure this 3 sides are even. And again, on this one, since it's such a big piece, I'm pulling out the big guns. I'm getting the duct tape of adhesive out, and I'm going to go right to the edge. Now, this roll of tape, one of the things that I do like about it for these books is that, oh, look at that. Oh, am I going to be able to get it up? Okay, perfect. Is that it goes actually right to the edge of the plastic strip. So sometimes these adhesives that are on rolls like this, they're inset a little bit, but this is from edge to edge. So then I know I'm getting it real close. And that's important with this. We don't want anything peeling or coming up. There we go. Pull off that one. Let's move those. Pull these pieces off. I like to use my scissors. Sometimes, like with the nails, it's hard to like get that edge. So the scissors seem to kind of pick it up and pull it off pretty easy. I'm going to do an X in the middle. Go. Pull that off, and then we can go ahead and glue it down. So I'm making sure I have the top and the sides even. There we go. Perfect. Now we're going to take a 4x6 photo. Oh, that was one of the things that I did too. I also did all of the pictures and what I think we're going to do. So as we go along, I'll be telling you what size photo you need, because some of this stuff you can't embellish without the actual photo. So we've got a 4x6 photo that we're going to put here right in the center. Perfect. And then we're going to do a strip of the burgundy on each one of the edges. Okay, that looks cute. And then we're going to do the other 2 strips that are there. These are 1/2 inch by 6 strips, and they're going to go right underneath that. Now in the instructions, it has like one next to it, one under it. I don't like that. I want them to both be the same. So I want it just like that. Okay, so we'll be putting a 3 3/4 by 5 3/4 photo in there. And one of the things I like to do, you can use a pencil or a marker, is if I'm doing this later, I write it in there. So it's going to be 5 3/4 by 3 3/4 for the photo. And then it's just a little bit faster, especially if you're giving it as a gift. That's nice. But this book is super cute. It could be for the grandparents to keep record of the grandchildren. It could be for the parents, you know, a year of their growth. And that is it for this one. So let's turn it over. And we're going to grab our next envelope. Now the next envelope is going to be the flower paper. And it's going to be this periwinkle strip. And then we've got 2 3x4 photos that are going to go on here. Now, if you're doing this for a boy, it's okay to have a little bit of floral print in there. So let's not freak out. But if you wanted to change it, what's on the other side is actually really cute. I think this could work out well. I would change, you're going to cover some of it up. So it's going to look a little bit more of a quilt patchwork. And then we could do, let's cover that word up. And then this here. And it looks more like a quilted pattern. But again, you know, their mom is a woman. Having a little bit of flowers is okay in a book for a boy. So now on this one, we're going to do the real thick adhesive. You know, we make the baby albums about our children, but are they really for them or are they for us? And I believe they're for us. So having some floral print, boy, girl, doesn't matter. Pair of Teflon scissors when you're cutting adhesive that you don't, because it doesn't stick to it, is always ideal. But every time I go to look for those scissors, I can't find them. I try to keep them separate and in a special place, and guess what? That special place, who knows where that was? Everybody's got that problem. I put it somewhere safe in my special place. And then by the time you need it, who knows where it's at. Okay, so let's look at this since I've turned it all around. Make sure I've got the up, even though the flowers are not very directional at all. We're going to put our periwinkle band on. And this is 8 inches by, it looks like 1.5 or 1 1/4, whatever we cut. I'll just tell you for sure so I know. You guys are pulling the right stuff. Yeah, 1.5. So we're going to go about a 1/2 inch in. And then these little 3x4 photos are going to go on. And they're going to get a little bit of space here because it does have a banner. But you know what? I never, ever like things to be bullseyed. So I'm going to change that. I'll probably put the banner at the top or the bottom. And I'm going to put them tight. I like that 1/8 of an inch gap in between my photos because it looks easy. I feel it's easier to see. So now I'm going to grab my pop dots. I'm gonna pop dot these two pictures. Now these are 3x4s. So if these are 3x4s, it's going to be 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. We're gonna go on, we're gonna probably put a 1/2 inch here. I didn't follow a lot of the photo sizes either in the album because I like to keep it simple. I like to use 4x6s, 3x4s, 2x3s, and then a few square ones I did too. So this is good for now until we get to the embellishment part. So go ahead and put that into the album. Page 1 is done. How exciting. Now page 2 is one of the fold outs that was in the album. And we did the scoring, and this is how it's going to fold together. So you're going to go on top of the bunny and then back on itself for this. And inside here, it has a square photo, and it says 4x4, and I did that. And then the instructions call for a 2 3/4 by 4, and that's just not a size that I'm comfortable with, so I did a 3x4. Keep them super simple, keep them close together, that kind of thing. These need to be flat so that it lays better. I'm going to center it up. I'm going to put this one kind of close to the edge because this is one of the things in the instructions that they didn't have us do. This needs hole punches, and they didn't tell us to do that. Also, part of the instructions are to draw lines for journaling with a black pen. That is an absolute no-no. I am not doing that. So let's pull out a extra sheet, one of your sheets that have the holes in it, and get this punched, because it was one of the things that were missed with the Simple Stories instructions. So, center it up. Perfect. So then we've got our cute little fold out, and we'll do something fun here, just not yet. Okay. And then the back side of this is this really cool burgundy-ish plaid paper, and we're going to embellish this now. So here they want us to do like a 3 3/4 by 7. Well, that's not a photo size for us. So we're going to do a 4x6, and then we'll cut it 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then it's got two other sizes that are kind of strange. So I changed it to do 2 3x4s. So we're going to do it like that. So this one will be 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Now I always put the width and then the height. The width and then the height. Anytime we do stuff for Sketch Club, that's how we do it, so I stay consistent. So anything I teach, my first measurement is always going to be my width. My second measurement is always going to be my height. So let's not pop dot or do any funky things with this so that it folds properly. It is interactive though, so make sure you're putting enough adhesive. And I'm going to do it heavy to the left, leaving like a 1/4 inch from the seam and probably about 3/8 from the top. I'm going to line this one up, but I'm going to center it a little bit more in between the two seams. That looks good. And the same thing over here. Perfect. So then we've got our back fold and our front fold, and that can go in your album. All right, our next one is going to have a 6x8 pocket, and it's got some repetitive pieces here, some layers that we've done before. So make sure you've got your star paper inked, and then the back side should be inked too, because we're going to see that. This is going to get glued down in the center. And I got a 4x6 photo, or a 4x6 mat. So my photo is going to be 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then we're going to do the burgundy dot. We want to see the dot because it's so cute. I've always loved the dot papers that Bo Bunny did. And Simple Stories is kind of doing the same thing now. So we're going to take those two 1/4 inch by 6 burgundy dots, put them right next to the photo. And then we'll do the two stripe ones, which are a 1/2 inch by 6. And put them stacked right on top too. Okay, so that is it for this one. And then don't put it in the page protector because we're just going to turn it over and decorate this page. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this yellow floral print. I may change this as we go through the album, but I haven't yet. One of the things that this wants us to do here is to have this and then to have like a 3.5 by 5.5 photo. I don't really care for those sizes, so I'm leaving it. And then I'm going to start offsetting it. This is going to be something that we do throughout the whole book. And you know what? I'm just getting rid of this. It doesn't need it, and it looks so much better without it. I do not like that yellow print. I don't know why I'm so opposed to it, but I most certainly am. So that's what I want to do. I want to get this glued on to the pink, and we're going to offset our matting. It's going to be a trend that we do throughout the whole book. We're going to offset, not the matting, I'm sorry, these dot papers. Okay, once I've got like a 1/2 inch top, 1/2 inch left, then I can go ahead and glue this down more centered. Now you could do center of the photo, but I'm going to do center of kind of the whole thing. And that looks pretty good to me. All right, so this print, I'm not going to use it. That's personal preference. I just don't like how it looks, so it's out of here. Now that is it. We're going to take this. We're going to put it in the book. Oh, this is going to be a 3 3/4 photo by 5 3/4. Mat is 4 by 6. We always go up a 1/4 inch. And then this one can get put into the book, but I do believe I gotta change this because it should be this way. There we go. Hole should be on the left of this one, and then that is the back. Our next page, we're going to be using the big dot paper that comes in the book. And this is a pocket. We're going to be putting adhesive up here, and then this will fold up. So I'm just going to fold it back a little bit just so it I can see the crease better. And I'm going to take the smaller strip adhesive that I have. That's that really strong stuff. And it's a 1/4 inch thick, which is so nice. And I'm gonna put it right where that crease is, right at the top. Okay, there we go. And I've got a little bit of an edge. I'm just gonna fold it back. That's a small 1/4 inch I did. Now this is gonna get centered in between, you know, on both sides. And then we've got about, I'm gonna do a small 1/4 inch gap up at the top. There we go. Let's try that again. Press that really hard. If you have a bone folder, use that. Just anything you can to really give that a real good seal, a good bond. Oh, this is what I normally use as my new bow. Yeah. And then voila, we've got our little fold up. And on the cover here, we're gonna have this 4x4 card, and then we're gonna have a 3x4 photo. And it's got a little ribbon that goes across it, but they still look like they're pretty much touching. I don't know if I'm gonna do the ribbons until later, but I'm gonna leave a little bit of space just in case I do a bigger ribbon. I'm gonna do just like that. So center left to right. And we'll do a little baby bib. Oh, that wasn't a bib. Those are blue jean. What are overalls? Gosh, couldn't think of the word. So I'm gonna leave about a 1/4 inch in between them. Okay, and that looks good. And then this flips up, and inside there they wanted like a 4x7 white mat, and that just doesn't make any sense for me because our pictures are going to be, you know, a certain size. So I'm going to do 4x6 white mat, and the picture will be cut 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. All right, out of adhesive, I've got a lot up here for me. Baxter or a cat, which one? So let's just go about 1/2 inch down. And that's still covered. That looks great. And then I got the size in there for you. This one here is a 4x3 photo. So it's going to be a 3 3/4 by 2 3/4 photo. And this one right here is all done until we get some embellishing going. So let's just turn it over and pull out our next envelope. So we're going to be creating a pocket here. Pocket pages need to be pretty sturdy. So this is our little pocket thing, and we're going to be putting adhesive on the left, bottom, and right. Now, if you prefer not to use the flowers because yours is the boy book, just use the other side. It'll look just as nice. These patterns and things are mixed throughout, so don't be afraid to put pattern on top of pattern, because the embellishments and everything will tie it together. But I'm doing the girl book, so the flowers are good for me. So I will put my adhesive on the orange part. And I'm gonna use the thin one here because it's a really, really small pocket. Try to get closer to the edge than I did. So now we're going to take that, make sure directionally you haven't moved this around, and we're going to put it about, I'm going to say 1.5 inches from the bottom. Don't cover up the hole. There we go. And again, use your Nuvo or something to really press this down, and then give it a little bit of a, I always like to stick my fingers in there so that it kind of gives it a shape. It's not hard to get in and out. Now on this, they've got the sweet little precious cute cuddly, and they are using the color vibe textured thing that we cut, and they're going to put that here. So I'm going to do that. That's fine. I don't mind that little punch of yellow. Butting it right up to it. Now, anytime I have one of these, I normally like to put a photo on the back of it. So that's what I did. I cut, it has a photo dropped in there. So we're going to do a 4x6, and I double them up so that you have a photo on each side. So let's get these glued together. So for this little one, you're going to need 3 4x6 photos. And just glue them right on top of each other. And then the 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. No reason not to put a picture on the back of that. Sweet, precious, cute, cuddly, and totally adorable. And then I'll write my photo size, 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. And then these go into your pocket, just like that. And this can go into your album because there's nothing else that we're going to do right now. Next envelope is a simple one. This is a good thing for like journaling, telling a story, or if you don't have anything to say, you can always add small photos here. I would probably do like 2x3s or 3x4s. I think the 3x4 though would be pretty darn tight. So let's just check. Let me just test that. Because sometimes if you just leave it blank, which I'm not going to leave it blank. I will probably embellish it with the template because I'm going to make stars on it. But yeah, see, a 3x4 photo would be super cute in there if you want to add pictures to it. And 2x3s are half the size, so you could get 2 small ones too. But I'm not going to do that yet until I decide how I am embellishing the whole album. So now these little guys throughout the book are going to be folded in half. And I would rather score them in half because I feel like that is more accurate. So it's a 1.5 inch punch. So when I put it on my trimmer, it's going to be a 1/4 inch away on both sides from my 1. So see, I'm a 1/4 inch away from 1. I'm a 1/4 inch away from 1. So if I put that on there and then I score it, that tells me it's the center. And then I can fold it in half and it's pretty darn perfect. And then from there, I'll put adhesive on both sides. Lots of adhesive. This is like a little tab thing now. I'm going to cover the whole circle. Get it ready like a little taco. A little taco sounds good. And then push it right on. And then that's going to be it. We can throw this one into the book. All right, so our next page is going to be a page that has the 2 3x4s up top and the 4x6 on the bottom. And we've got our little one that is going to go in the top here. And then the lion is on the other side. Now again, I knew as I was cutting this, I did not like the the flower print, and it tells you to do a photo that is 2.5 by 3.5, but I'm doing a 3 by 4, and I'm just going to cover the whole thing up because I despise that print so much. I don't know. It really bugs me. So boom, Born to be Wild, my mat, and that's it. And then on the other one, we're going to do some square photos throughout this album. So this is going to be a 3.5 by 3.5 mat. So your picture will be 3.25 by 3.25. And then this one here will be 2.75 by 3.75. There we go. So I'm holding it heavy to about 1/4 inch top bottom equal. Then we've got this cute little bunny, bear, whatever you can see on yours paper. And then that's gonna go here. Just a small little edge. And sometimes these are slightly bigger. If that happens, just trim it off and then ink it. There we go. Now, this actually goes into the album, and I'm just going to do that because I want to show you this part. This is what the paper clips were for. I didn't actually realize that until I went through all the instructions and kind of looked at it a little bit better. But you take the paper clip, and it's going to get a cute little topper and stuff, and then you just clip it so that it's, you know, partially in there, and then people can pull it out and then you can see the other side. So I kind of liked it. I thought it was cute. So I'm going to actually do it. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do anything different to it. I'm going to put this one into the front. And then I'll do the little knots and stuff. We'll just do it a little bit later in the book when we're embellishing. So go ahead and turn that one over, and we're going to grab out our next set. So we've got the Born to be Wild, that's done. I want to put a photo here, a 3 by 4, to cover up that print. So it's going to be 2.75 by 3.75. And this is a 3 by 4 mat. And that can just go in there and cover up that yellow print. And I'm going to pull this back out because now I need to embellish here. I don't love using the solid, and it doesn't look like I inked it, so I'm going to do that now. Always check your direction when you start moving stuff around. And then we have a 3 by 4 mat. So we're going to do a 3.75 by 2.75 photo. Okay. Excuse me. Now we can drop that all back in there. This one here that I put the photo on, it is still a little, it's the little tag thing, and I still want to be able to pull that out like the rest. So I'm going to put a little paper clip there, just like this. Because I love the idea of people pulling these out and reading the back of it. So this is done. We can put that in there until we go to do the rest of the stuff. All right, so we've got our 6 by 8 page that we're going to do. And we're gonna put this blue diamond on top of the star paper. And it's about a 1/2 inch over to the left. Go. And then this is another one where we're going to offset. So we're going to offset it like that. I'm going to keep that very consistent throughout the book. This is a 4x6 mat. So we're going to do a 3 3/4 photo by 4 3/4 or 5 3/4. There we go. I'm going to give it about a 1/2 inch on top and left side. Perfect. And then this has this little tag on it here. I'm not putting it on there. I don't like to put things over top of the photos, so we're going to hold off on this. I'm just going to put it in my pile to worry about later. Now that gets dropped in, but I'm going to turn it over and do the back side of it before we drop it in. So here we go with that yellow print that I so dislike. I'm not going to use it. It's out of here. So I'm just going to use the red, and then maybe I'll add some more later. And we've got a 4x3 and a 4x3 photo. Excuse me. That I'm going to center up. So this check here was part of the skew strip. So make sure that's the one that you have. You can set that on. Anything that's inside a page protector, do not pop dot. There's just no reason for it. Center it, go about 1/4 inch up. 1/4 inch space. And then this is all set. And we can put it into our page protector and then into our book. Our next one is a 2 4x6s. And on this one, we've got the plaid that's going up top, but it's going to get a 3x3 square, or I'm sorry, a 3.5 by 3.5 square. So this will be 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 for the photo. 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 square. And then that will get attached to the outside. This little guy is going to go inside, which is super cute, a little flap. And if you're, again, the whole boy girl thing, if you'd rather see less flower print, then you can go ahead and switch it around. Now I chose to do a 4x6 photo on the inside instead of doing what their measurement was. So 4x6 photo is what I'm using, photo mat. Going to bring it right to the bottom and the edge. And then for the photo, when it's cut, it'll be 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. And we can drop that in there. And then we're going to put this together. Oh, I found my stripe piece. I can see it now. So this stripe piece that I wasn't sure what was happening, it's right here. So let me ink that. I'm gonna pull that up. I didn't put it over far enough. Anytime you pull up your adhesive, add more to it. As long as you do it right away. Really, we should put our photo mat on first because that'll dictate how far over we have to go. So let's change up what I'm doing. Because I want like a bit of a 3/8, 1/4 inch, somewhere in there. Then I can put this guy on. Great. And now it goes in the top. And then this guy gets clipped on. Perfect. My paper clips are a little big. I might have to find some smaller ones, but I don't normally have paper clips. I have these clips, and I was wondering if I wanted to use those instead, but we will see because I really love these. Chris has me addicted to these type of clips. And they're gold. What's not to love? And then you just fold that down, and you've got this cute little gold. But they're pretty wide, so I wasn't sure how they would fit in the album. If they look nice and they fit in the albums good, I might change it out. But right now, I'm sticking with the paper clips. Okay, we've got that. So let's turn it over and see what's next. So this part right here, we have a couple pieces to do. The little bear on the ledge is gonna stay the way that he is. And we're gonna do our pink dot across here and then our 4x3 photo also. So let's pull that out. This is a 4x3 mat, so the photo will be 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. I'm going to shove it back in there, and voila, that goes into the album. All right, so this is a fold-out page too, and I folded it in on itself for this one, and it's gonna go right here and then open up. So let's get the adhesive on that. I'm gonna use that really sticky, thin stuff. Okay. Press that down. Okay, so we're gonna go about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch from the edge, and we're making it pretty even from the top and the bottom too. That looks good to me. Press that down, and then you've got your cute little fold out that's gonna happen. For the top of this, we have this little periwinkle with the beads. And then we've got a 3x4 photo mat. And these are touching just like that. But I'm going to pop dot my photo mat. No, I'm not, because it has this little circle on it. So we're going to pull out, I'll pop dot this bottom one. So I'm going to pull out my trimmer again. And I'm going to put one before the 1/4 inch, before the 1/4 inch. And do not cut it, which I almost did. Getting a little delirious. Just score it in half. And then fold it like a taco. You've got that beautiful fold. All right, let's get this first one on. This photo, that mat, that's 3 by 4. There we go. Then I'm going to put adhesive on this. I'm going to use quite a bit of it. Why am I not gluing on a blue mat? I don't know. I'm making myself nuts. And then this goes over top of it like that, which I don't love because we don't have a photo, so you're going to have to tuck it under there. But it's too late now. I did it. And then this is going to go right next to it, just with a little elevation, a nice little pop dot. And then inside it had 3 by 2 1/4 photos. That's a strange size for me, so we're just going to do 2 by 3s. Probably going to drop it down so it misses the circle there, so we're not fighting with it. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, that's good. So start from the bottom. There we go. And then here they have it blank. Now that is a lot of blank space. If you wanted to put a 4 by 6 photo, you could, or maybe we'll do a design in there. We'll see, but let's leave it alone for right now. These are 3 by 2 mats. So when you go to cut your picture, you should definitely do mini prints with this. If you have close-ups, it'll work great. And it's going to be a 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. And yes, I know that sounds small, and it is, but it has been big impact for something like this. So that is it. Let's turn it over and grab our next envelope. So for this one, we've got some pieces that we're going to be gluing down. Okay, so the blue star paper is supposed to be a matte, and I'm going to offset it because that's kind of the look that I'm going for with this book. So I have a 4 by 6 photo, and it covers up the hole. So I'm actually going to change the orientation of this and do it more like that, because a lot of the pictures that moms take nowadays are verticals because of their phone. Everything is done with their phone, everything. So we're going to do a fun little play. Let's see, what can we do to make that? Do our 1/2 inch. We can do the one at the border down here. And then we'll have to hook this on. So I'm going to pop dot this for sure. So let's get it glued together. Half inch. Let's get some pop dots on it. This doesn't go. And actually, I'm going to use the roll of pop dots because I much prefer that when I'm doing a big piece. Now, you don't want to use that, but I can go to about there. So I'm just going to put it in the center. And then open up another one. All right, if I could get that off my hand. There we go. Perfect. Cut a few strips, fill that in, and then let's get off that plastic side. All right, direction, make sure you've got it the right way. And then I'm going heavy to the left because I still want to put this stripe paper down. Probably should do that first, just so going a little underneath. Love it. Now, I have my 4 months, and it had a ribbon that was going to go around it the other way. So I probably will get that ribbon on there still, and then clip it to it. Because I've got different size paper clips, but I put a lot of foam dots. If I would have left a little space there maybe, but I didn't. But it still attaches to it, but it's going to eventually attach to the ribbon when I finish. But that's it for this one. We can throw it in the book. The next one is going to be a 6x8 pocket, and we've got our bunny print. We have our striped paper. It's going to be pretty simple. We're going to go right down the center of it and put that on. Make sure you're even on both sides, best that you can. Then I've got 2 photos. Oh, I didn't mark on this one. Sorry, even though you guys should know by now. This is a 4x6 mat, so the photo is going to be 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Gee whiz, that's going to be a long night of me saying that. This one here. This is a 3x4 mat, so we have 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then we did those ones good. We've got a few square photos again. These are 3.5 by 3.5. That's good. Let's flip it over. We have our flower print. If you don't want to do the flower, you can do the orange color, but I'm going to do the flower. Going to go about a 1/2 inch over from the left and put that down. We're going to do an offset to the right side, I think. Let me just look at it. No, we're going to do it the same that I have been. Half inch of the top, half inch of the side. There we go. And then this can go into our album. Into the page protector, then into the album. Perfect. Oh my, I'm not used to doing this whole photo mat. 4x6 mat, and then 3 3/4 photo by 5 3/4 photo. And then here, these were 3 1/2 mats, so it's going to be 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. There we go. Now, remember that was my faux pas that I did earlier, so I'll have to fix that, but no big deal. Let's take these hearts and use our trimmer and get them scored in half. And there we go. So it's technically at the 3/4 mark on both sides that I'm putting it. Fold like a taco. Nice. We can put adhesive on this one. And it's just going to go down at the bottom here. And this is going to get clipped to the top. And then we can flip it over. There isn't anything that we're doing here. This is all meant for journaling if you like to journal. If not, you can add photo mats or some sort of design to it. So we've got our chipboard with the little tab in the middle that we're going to do now. And we've got quite a few pieces for this one, but nothing that's a big deal. So we're going to put the purple on first, and then we're going to make a pocket. So let's do that. I better use the big adhesive just because it is a pocket also. So closest to the edge as you can. Ugh. My goodness. Try to stick this back on itself when you're not using it. Otherwise, you'll be like me and it's sticking to everything. Okay. Oh, no, you didn't, Shannon. My goodness. Just a mess today. I might have to go take a nap and pick this up later. Okay, so X in the middle. Good, good, good. Oh, there goes my scissors. So let's get this on now. Make sure it's even with the top, bottom, and the front side here. Just like that. Press that on really good. This is going to take a lot of weight. It's a pocket. All right, so we're going to have the rainbow up. So we're going to turn this over and we're going to start putting adhesive on the left, right, and bottom. Set that aside. Let's get those extra pieces off there. Okay, pull back your periwinkle chipboard piece and we're going to go right to the edge. And then go ahead and use something to burnish them two together. Perfect. Now with this, you can, get your finger in there. Don't, be gentle, but get your finger in there. Try to give it a little bit of space. Now for this too, it says like 3.5 by 4 by 6 and all these weird sizes. I just want to do 2 4 by 6 sets. So they'll be back to back, back to back. That will go in there. So there'll be 4 photos. And then this cute little tag. But first, we're going to use the solid part of our textured cardstock blush to line this edge. Now, why, oh why did I not do this prior to gluing it down? Because I love to make myself crazy. Darn it. Sorry guys. So we're going to have to mark it in order to do it. So line it up on there, just mark it, and then cut that on your trimmer. Put some ink on it and it'll be fine. Very sorry about that. I didn't realize I needed to do it first. Should have, but I didn't. Ink those edges. Put it back on there, make sure it works. And it does, it's really close. Put quite a bit of adhesive on that because it is like part of the pocket where it's gonna get touched. Don't let it go over too much. All right, now we fixed that little faux pas. And now we're gonna go back to our photos. So let's glue these together. These are 4 by 6 mats, so the picture will be 3 3/4 by 5 3/4 for all 4 of them. Great. So we can take these, we can stick them in the pocket, and then that little guy there, and this is all set for now. Let's go ahead and turn it over and grab our next envelope. Well, we're probably almost halfway through them. Now this is another pocket, just a little bit different. So again, we're gonna put a lot of adhesive on the back side of everything so it sticks together really well. And before I forget, we're gonna put this piece on. This is the barcode for Born to Be Wild with the little hearts. And that is gonna go at the bottom, the very bottom of this. There we go, like that. And then we're going to turn this over, get out the thick duct tape, the stuff that makes you crazy when it sticks to things, like that right there. Okay. Ugh, it's a good thing you get a moment to like just pull it up, gee whiz. There we go. I'm going to do some in the middle before I do the sides so that I'm not touching them. That might be a little bit easier for me to manage. Now I'm going to start pulling them off. And then let's get the top and the bottom of this. All right, set that aside so it's not getting on everything. Pull off your top and bottom, and then we're going to grab our chipboard and I always like to turn it this way so I can see the top and the bottom and the sides and give it that even space. Press, press, press. Here is our other pocket part that's going to go just like that, stacked on top of the heart. So we need adhesive along the bottom and the left and the right. Let's use the thin one for this. This is a pretty small pocket. Now, I really wish I had a grandchild to make this for. Those of you that do, count yourself lucky, or a child. My kids are way too old for me to be making them baby stuff. Okay. Maybe we need a book, though, instead of baby, for, like, just our kids in general. because everybody's grown up. You guys we've all gotten older. Our kids have gotten older. I like that idea. Like a son-daughter book. Okay, so this is going to have 2 4x6 photos in it. Technically 4, because it's going to be back to back. So let's get them glued back to back. And these are 4x6 photo mats. So the photo is going to be 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Watch that little hole. A lot of times I go that, to get it in there. Just be careful. Then we've got this cute little one that goes in there, date thing. And that is done. We can throw it into our album. Next one has the 2 3x4 pockets and the 4x6. And we've got a cute little fold out that's going to happen. So let's start with that. This one's a 5 3/4 by 3 3/4, but I really just don't like that type of size. So I'm doing a 4x6. You do you. I'm going to do me. As long as you love it, it doesn't matter which way you do it. But I really like a lot of consistency and continuity with the pictures, not a whole bunch of different sizes. So I'm going to put that right to the bottom, to the edge, and that is going to be my inside pocket there. And then we have this. So now the outside here is going to be a 3x4. So let me write that on there. 4x6 mat, 5 3/4 by 3 3/4 photo. This is going to be covering up that ugly yellow that's making me absolutely crazy. So that goes in here just like this, our little bear. And then the Oh Baby goes here, and I'm going to put a mat with it and cover it up. So 4x6 or 4x3, it's going to be 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 for the photo. And I like the little surprise kind of that's happening too throughout the book with the months. So, once you stick that in there, and then the month goes on top of it with a paper clip, and then when they pull it off, there's a cute little photo of the 6 months behind there, which I like the idea. I think it's cute. This gets a 4x3 photo on top. Let's pop dot that. We haven't done a lot of pop dotting lately. Sometimes, with these books, if they're very full, and I save the pop dotting now for the embellishments. But here and there, we can do a photo. Now this was a 3x4 mat. So I'm going to hang it heavy to the right. And then it's going to be a 3 3/4 by 2 3/4 photo. And then that's going to be good. This could be so cute when it's done. I love it. Love it, love it. All right, back side of this. Sometimes when I make these books, adhesive gets on them. So what I will do if I see adhesive on top or the page protector looks dirty, I will take Undo and a cute cotton ball. I'll put the Undo on the cotton ball and just rub it. And it just rubs it right off and cleans it up. So if you ever have that problem, that is the best idea, is to Undo and a cotton ball. Let's finish up the back side of this. So we've got our stripe, and then we're gonna add a couple photos. I'm gonna put a 3x4 photo here and a 3x4 photo here. So this one I can just slide in, and when I cut, the mat is 3x4, the photo will be 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I can slide that one in up top. And then I'm going to pull this one out. Go a little bit more than a 1/4 inch from the top. Gonna overlap the stripe a bit and do a little heavy 1/4 inch from the side there. And now we can pop this back in. And we are all set with this page. We can go ahead and put it into the album. Got a little one here, pretty simple. And we want to score that heart. So we're going to put it on our trimmer, 3/4, 3/4. Use our scissors. Fold it in half. That's good. And then this one goes up at the top. Just like that. And there's nothing that we're going to do to the back side, so we can throw that into the album also. All right, we've got our large stripe that we're going to use. And this one's a pretty simple one too. We're going to go and just put this stripe on top of the stripe, right over top of the holes. And then we're going to grab out our hole punch and re-punch those. So just turn it over, line it up, and that's it. So there's the one page. This is one of those things where you could add more photos because there's nothing going on with it. And then on the back side of it, let's turn it over. We're going to have a little flip out. And it opens up this way. So I folded it underneath. I'm going to put adhesive on that. Start there with my little adhesive. And let's make sure that's on there really good. Oh, this stuff. I really love it for making these books, but gotta be super careful. And I'm like a bull in a china shop. Nothing I do is delicate. Okay. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna go and do like a 1/4 inch from the top, the bottom, and the edge. Put that on there really good. We've got 2 photo mats, and these are 3 by 3. So it's going to be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 is going to be our picture size. And they go up heavy. Uh-oh, I've got a cat getting in here. You'll probably see her soon. She's a naughty girl. Leave a little bit of a space. Yeah, she likes to inspect and watch what I'm doing. And then I've got the little rainbow that goes on this, and it kind of hangs off, but I don't really want to do that because then it'll get messed up. So I'm just going to put it right here with a little bit of space too. We don't do things over the photos if we can help it. And then we open it up, and inside you've got all this space to do something fun. They did not give you any ideas. So, you know, for me, I definitely feel like we have to start putting some photos in here. So I am. I'm going to do this one. I see. No, I am not going to put a photo in this one. We might want to do one on the others. This will just be a design or something, or a smaller picture. We'll see. But that is it for this. Our next one is a 6 by 8 pocket page, or not, yeah, a 6 by 8 pocket. And we're gonna do the plain yellow side here. And then that's gonna go on top of it. And I'm gonna put it up a little higher because I think I'm gonna stack these so I don't see as much as the plain, as much of the plain yellow, because, you know, I don't really love it. I love the dot. I'd rather that both sides were dotted. All right, time for another adhesive pack. But let's leave about a 1/4 inch from the bottom. And we're gonna pull out my adhesive so I got more. Stack the diamonds right on top. And this one looks like it's a little short, so we're going to trim all that off. And let me clean up those edges with my vintage photo. There we go. I have a 4 by 6 photo mat, and then this is going to get off-centered like we've been doing, just like that. So let's get those two glued together. And I haven't counted how many photos are in here yet, but I think it's quite a bit. That's nice. That in there a little off-centered because I've got the 7 months that is going to hook onto the top, and I don't want to cover up too much. So for our photo size, it's going to be 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then we're going to decorate the back side of this, but your 7 months gets hooked on . All right, well, now I have a little conundrum. Let's see. There we go. gets hooked onto the one-page protector. All right, and then it'll be just like this once it goes in there. So that's good. Set that aside, turn this over, and grab out our next envelope. We are running through them, pretty good pace here. So now for this, we have this layer, and then this layer. All like that. Why this is so big, I don't know. It needs to be trimmed down to 6 inches. So let's take care of that. And ink that edge. So this is what we're looking at, right about like this-ish, and then we'll do our photo mat. So let's get our 1/2 inch that we've been consistently doing with all the patterns. There we go. And we'll get these put together. Go about a real small 1/4 inch from that left. We're gonna go maybe a little bit more, like 3/8, but not a half. And then we can put our photo mat on. If I can pick it up. There we go. Got a real layered look there. Is that like a little piece of... whatever it is, it's staying at the moment. All right, so let's get this side in. Now this is a 4x6 mat, so we've got 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then on the opposite side, it's going to have the 8-month. And that's going to be over here. And it's going to get its own paper clip. And then this can go inside our album. All right, so here is one of them that didn't get scored that needed to be scored. So we're going to take care of that. So first off, we have our rainbow paper, and that opens up into a pocket. So let's do that first and get our adhesive, our real strong adhesive on that. The small one. I'll push that on too. Okay, take that off. Turn this sideways so that we can see our space, so that we're even space. Left, right, top, bottom. Actually, just top, bottom in the front here. Push, push, push. Now we've got our fold out pocket. This is going to get a 4x6 photo. So we can put that in there. So our 4x6 mat And our photo is 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Nothing goes inside here. You know my motto on that. We probably need to put something, and I am going to put something in this one because we have so many that don't have pictures. So you can leave yours blank if you think, you know, whoever's doing this album, you or someone else, is going to do that much journaling. But there is nobody I know that would journal this much. So I'm adding the picture. And I know right now I've already cut 10 sheets. So there has got to be a lot of pictures in here. Oh, look how messy that is. There we go. Pocket, open up, voila. Now for some reason they love to do a pocket on top of a pocket. So this is also a pocket, and I missed this in the instructions where that needed to be scored. So grab your trimmer, because if you followed along with me, we're going to put it at the 1/4 inch mark. We're going to use our scissors, and we're gently going to give it an edge. Now on this one, it flaps up, so we're going to almost fold it back on itself. Just turn it over, grab your thin adhesive, and go ahead and put it on there. Peel that off, ladies. And then this has a 3x4 picture underneath it. So I just want to kind of line them up so that we don't hit this hole. And I've got good space at the top and the bottom. So that looks pretty good to me. Press that down. And then it folds up. Now, this is supposed to get a 4x4 photo, but I knew that was going to happen. They never allot for this overhang. So we're going to trim it down. And you know what? I'm just going to do 2 3x4 photos because I like those sizes. So let's cut this one. You don't even probably have yours cut, so that's good. Let's get 2 3x4 photos ready for this one. I'm first gonna put the one at the bottom. Shut it. Put that there. There we go. And then I'll open it up. And I'm going to go about a 1/4 inch above it. Like that. Then there's its little surprise. And then here's a second surprise. A lot going on with that one, eh? Turn it over. Grab your next envelope. We are getting through them, ladies. Getting through them. So we've got another pocket that we're going to create like this, and then this star goes on the angle. So we already faux pas that once. I'm gonna do that first so I don't forget what I'm doing. So put good amount of adhesive, cover edge to edge on this, and then I want you to run it along the top of the border, the angle cut, just like that. All right. Now we can put adhesive along the bottom and the two sides. Let's take off that extra edge. Sometimes it really helps to push this down so that it doesn't peel up on those edges. If it peels up on the edges, every time you stuff something in there, it's just gonna be a mess. So you really wanna be careful with this part when you're building pockets. Okay, so from now, we're gonna go about a 1/4 inch from the top, a little bit less from that one side so that we don't cover up any of our holes. Let's push this down really good. Open it back up. This has a little red piece in there. I'm not sure what that's for. I did 2 4x6s that I'm going to put back to back. So there'll be 4 photos in there. All right, and then these guys go in there. Let's get a measurement, 3 3/4 by 5 3/4 for all 4. And that's all we're gonna do for this one for right now. Both sides are done. We can throw it in there. We've got our 2 4x6s that we're going to be doing now. I Love You to the Moon and Back just goes inside. This one here is going to get our 3.5 matte by 3.5. And then this. And then our 9 months will go over top of it. So let's get this part built. So the photo is going to be 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Need to sharpen my pencil. And then that goes here. And the 9 months is going to be attached to the outside for right now. Like that. But now we need to turn all this stuff over and embellish on the back side. Not much to do here, just a few things because I'm changing it. So this is supposed to get that flower paper, one here, one there. You can do that if you want to. I shall not. So we're just going to glue down our 3x4 photos for right now. We'll do them opposite of each other. And then we can go ahead and stuff them into the album. I Love You to the Moon and Back. There we go. Here's that. Here's this. Oh, now these are 3x4 photo mats. So it's going to be 3 3/4 by 2 3/4 for the photo. You can throw that in there. And grab out this one. So So this page right here was supposed to have a V cut out, and I chose not to do that. And that's why this is so much longer, is so that it could follow the V. But we are going to just glue this down. Give it a good 1/2 inch from the bottom. Let's trim it off and then ink it. Punch that hole, because that's important. Get your hole punch out. Now, I chose to do a 4x6 photo that I'm going to put here. I'm going to hold it heavy to the back side because they have a really big sticker that's going here that I may or may not put. Oh, and I finally found this other piece. This is like partially over top of it, which isn't something I would do anyways. So let's get this on and pop dot it. So I've got a 4x6 photo mat. Gonna go heavy on the left side here so that I can put some whatever embellishments here. Turn it over and let's see what's next. So this is a little pocket too that we're going to make. So let's turn it over. Put some adhesive at the bottom. Pull those off. A little off the sides there. So grab that, put it about a 1/2 inch from the bottom, centered, the best that you can. Press it in. You got some room in there. And then it asks you to do the dream big, and then I wanted to put a photo on the back side, so that's a 3x4 mat. covering up that yellow flower paper that I seem to despise so much. And it's got the Shine Bright little star that goes into the pocket just like this. And we can put that into the book, ladies. So now we've got our page protector that is 2 3x4s and a 4x6. And we've got our rainbow print that's going to go here. We've got the sunshine here. We've got the bunny. And then our 10 months over top of it. So I'm definitely going to put a photo in with this one. This is a 3x4 mat. So 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And that can go in. I'm going to leave that out because I know I might do something to the other side. Get my paper clip. Put that here. I chose, instead of doing a different size, I wanted to do a 4x6 mat here. So that is what I'm doing. I'm going to put that in there. And then we can set this aside. And we have to decorate these with our next envelope. So we've got the blue stars that's going to go on the bottom. I've got a photo that's going to go here. And then the 11. Okay, just like that. And then we have a 3x4 here. So these are both 3x4s. And the mat is going to be 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, but I wrote it the wrong way. So you guys know what I mean. Photo mat. Okay, good, good, good. Let's shove that in there. So we've got this one, and then we have this one. And we can put that in the album as well. And we've got our last chipboard piece that we're going to do. And this has pockets also. So let's put a large amount of adhesive on this page since it's going to hold the pockets. All right, let's take some of this off. Do the top and the bottom now. All right, we're ready to glue this down. So make sure you have your chipboard the right way. It's supposed to be like that. I'm gonna turn it sideways. Oh, and press it down. Now we have the periwinkle piece, which is our pocket. So we're just gonna glue bottom and the sides with a small adhesive. All right. So we're gonna go pretty far up on this one, probably about 2 inches almost, 1.5 inches, and then put that pocket on. Press that down. And I've got some pieces. It's got that purpley, or purple, that burgundy color in there, which maybe doesn't need it, but it's there. We're going to take 2 4x6 photo mats and glue them together. So then our pictures will be 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. It's got a cute little note card in there that we can just keep. And then my sunshine goes on here also, but first we have to get this little diagonal stripe on there. I'm going to pop dot this guy. All right. My sunshine's going to get pretty much centered. Put it down just a little bit. There we go. And then we can turn this one over. And that's going to go here. Let's get the big guns. Ooh. Oh boy. All right, let's get these edges off. And do the bottoms. Oops. All right, I left that a little too close to the edge. So let's clean that up a little. Set this aside before I get it on something. And even up the 3 sides. All right, here is 2 mini pockets. There's a lot of pockets going on here. So we're going to stack this one on, and then that one, and that's probably a pretty good size. So let's get our small one out. There we go. Let's do the same thing to the next pocket. We're gonna go above this one, probably about almost 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch. More of like 3/4. And now we can start seeing what we're gonna put in there. So on the top pocket, we've got our cute little Love You Forever. You could put a picture on the other side of that. We've got the rainbow. And then each one has one set of 3x4 mats in it that are back to back. So then the cutting for this is going to be 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 for your photo. For some reason that is a little long, so I'm just going to trim it off and ink it. And this one goes right in here. And then that pocket's done. And we can set it into the book. All right, our next one is going to be 2 4x6s. And we're almost there. So that is going on that side. This is going here with a 3x4 mat, the animals, and then the tag. So let's get this top portion done. I can set the tag up already. And then that's going to go underneath, and that one will go in, but we need to get the back sides done first. So grab your next envelope. And for the bottom one here with the red plaid, let's turn that over. We're going to put the pink dot paper with it. Oh, this is a 3.5 by 3.5 mat, so it's going to be 3 1/4 square. We've got 2 4x6s here, or 3x4s here, 4x3s. So we're going to do 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. There we go. We can slide that side in. Turn this one over, and we've got a striped piece of paper that we're going to put on. There we go. Let's see. 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. And that's that. And then that goes in the book also. Got a nice easy one here. Got to get our circle out. With that circle, we're going to score it in half. At the 3/4, 3/4 mark. Fold it. Oh, I did that one a little too hard. Make sure you're not pushing too hard where it goes and cuts the paper. This goes at the bottom. Turn it over. And nothing to do there. We can put it in the book. All right, so we've got a nice striped piece of paper that goes at the bottom. So let's start there. The instructions for this one call for a 5 by 3.5, 2 of them, and it's just not what I'm really wanting to do. So I'm gonna do a 4 by 6 instead, and I'm gonna stack it. So try to make sure you line it up so that you don't get the holes. Or do I want to go up and down and give myself some room? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go up and down and give myself some room. So forget the 3 by 4s unless you want to. Or I'm sorry, the 5 by 3.5s. And then this one is a 4 by 6 mat. So it's 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. We can turn it over. And this is our absolutely last page that needs to have paper put on it besides our cover. So on this one, we've got our flowers that we're going to do. And then we're going to offset these 2 mats. So I did a 4 by 6 mat. So for my pictures, it'll be 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. I'm gonna glue that offset, that 1/2 inch that we've been doing the left and the top. And we're gonna pop dot this one. Everything is sticking together tonight. Right, we're getting there, ladies. I almost got this together enough to start embellishing. There we go. So now that can go in the book. So let's pull this book forward, see what we've got so far. Gotta make sure I get them in there. Oh, that doesn't. Might have them out of order a little bit, but I'll get it fixed later on as we start to embellish. All right, so we have our beginning of our album, our little pull-out page, which is kind of fun. This looks good. So now I'm gonna go through and start working with the embellishments and maybe adding more paper or other designs depending on what it looks like. And then a way to put these paper clips on, make sure the big part is behind and the small part is up front. It actually holds them stronger. I didn't realize that until as I was doing it, I noticed. There we go. Oh, and that should be not behind the, it should just be on the plastic. There we go. So yeah, if we just switch these out to the small part punching out, for some reason it holds it way much better. Way much better. Where did I come up with that? All right, we've got some cute stuff in here. We've got good bones to work with thanks to Simple Stories. This isn't my idea. This is definitely Simple Stories' idea. Fold out. Fix all these pockets. Flip outs, fold outs, there's so much going on. Makes for a pretty big book too, and there's a lot of pictures in this. This is really nice for a lot of photos. Okay. I got it right there, that's good. This is good. More pockets. All right, that is it, guys. So let's clean up our area, regroup, and get our embellishments ready.